to.
Okay.
You're more important than me.
I think you're very important.
You're very important. You gave me a menu.
Hi, how's it going? I'm Jason.
Going well. Jason, John O'Neill. Pleased to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
My cousin, Jack Crouch.
Nice to meet you, man.
It's my wife, Michelle. She's a...
Hi, Michelle. Nice to meet you as well.
Behind the camera.
My impromptu film crew.
Cool. All right, so we do orange peel and grapefruit peel for cocktails, for essence, for oils, for garnish. And when we're done with it, you just have this completely peeled, nothing but pith on the outside, but there's still plenty of juice interior. So I said, stop throwing it away, give it to me. So I put it in my deep freeze it, break the cell walls, allow more fruit juice to come through when it thaws. I put it in grain alcohol, let it sit for a week. Now I can understand that polyphenols are not exactly something that are always favorable. They're something that is usually looked down upon. You try to strip away from your product, and I'm a little bit taking a bit of a anarchist approach to that methodology. I want it to be kind of this black sheep that's like, well, we do it this way, but I want to do it a little bit differently. And to speak more about that, y'all want to see what I've been doing over here? I am trying to do, and I have successfully done it, but I'm doing an aging process with, instead of using a barrel made of New American charred oak, I'm actually using coconuts instead. I basically dumped out the contents of the actual coconut, measure what that was, and then reduce it by about 20 mils because I want a little bit of breathing room, and just replace it with grain alcohol. Resealed it with a synthetic cork and let it sit out here in the hot sun of Texas and let it literally go in and out and in and out like it would in a barrel.
Right.
The reason it's in direct sunlight, not in a rick house per se, is because anytime I've done this inside or in our boiler room, any sort of excess moisture or humidity, the whole outside just molds. The whole thing is just, it's covered in like a fur coat. And so like obviously it starts here and it ends up this color, but after a week, it's literally gone through the hot day, it pressurizes and it leaches in through the meat and then into the actual coconut husk, and throughout the evening, it contracts back in. So it's having the same effects you would get in a barrel.
In a barrel, soaking all the way through and then coming back as it develops.
You get coconut essence then, rather than just vanillin and the caramel notes and things like that.
So it's a true coconut rum.
Sort of. I'm not using a cane distillate, but I'm inspired by the predecessors before it, having the same notes that you get from this type of stuff. If I limit myself to just doing what people know, then we're never going to grow as a distillery if we don't try to push a little bit of the envelope, not go too off the reservation, which I've done before. I just finished a pork belly vodka and a smoked rib vodka, and both were staggering, but only in a Bloody Mary.
So how long has this been?
That's since Tuesday. My last batch that I did for a week. But that was a combination of indoors and outdoors resting. So this one being in direct sunlight since Tuesday, I might pull today and just see if it's been enough, because it's been pretty decent sunlight since Tuesday.
Like about 4 o'clock?
Maybe.
You have 9 minutes.
Well, unfortunately though, it doesn't really carry as much coconut flavor as one would hope. It's more of the essence, so it's kind of got this more coconut water lightness, and I want more though. So I went off and I got like the coconut, it's all milled up, like the actual hearts of it inside of it, and you can buy it from like the bulk section of like Central Market and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm gonna toast off some of that and then maybe add it to, once I've gotten this out and put it in some sort of Cambro, I'll let that infuse as well and see if that carries even further flavor to it, or maybe even blend it into a cream and see if that helps out. But I just want it to be more of an impactful experience rather than just being kind of like this, what kind of tastes like if I went to the store, bought a coconut water and added vodka to it, that's what it tastes like. I want it to be more depth than that. I've got some if you want to try and see where it's at. Sure. I will advise you though, this is the one part that I did not expect, that I had 2 people tell me, and neither one were around one another when it was told, but one of the smells and the aromas they got off of what I was doing when I used coconut sugar to sweeten it versus just cane was wet dog / I just washed my dog smell.
Yeah, I can't stand the smell of argan oil.
But that's it. But that's the part. It's like, I don't know how many folks can stand the smell of like their dog after being shampooed. So like, it's a bit of an. When I heard that, I was like, man, you're full of shit. Like that's a weird thing. Yeah. But then someone else said it. I'm like, oh, well, it's got to be true. I'm the head distiller. I work on the research and development side of the vodka.
You get to play all day.
Yeah, I mean, well, some days all day. like today's one of those days, but other days whenever you guys aren't around, it's processing time. So it's time to make the regular vodka, filter, transfer to 2 different tanks, and then start building flavors. So one day's ruby, the next day's orange, or both in one day. Obviously balance out proof, because TABC and TTB are very, very, yeah, well, and as well they should be, because consistency is key. But I have to be within a certain range, otherwise we get a huge fine, and I don't want that to be on my head. So this next one is going to be the one that has that more wet dog.
Smells like.
Say, I don't smell wet dog.
No, this smells pure coconut water.
It's only when I add the coconut sugar to it, I get this, which is weird, because I was hoping that if I kept it all in the family, I'd have this successful product.
I don't like cooking with coconut sugar. It has different properties.
Either. It's almost like jaggery, where it's very earthy and like.
It's too much. Right about now. After that taste, about 7 seconds in, that's where the coconut water.
It comes in?
No, it's where it ends.
Oh.
The coconut inherently is a whole shit ton of electrolytes.
Oh yeah, and that's salt.
It's not fat, they're salt.
Yeah.
So those are what giving you this front go electrolyte stimulation. Then once they acid
drop off fast, yeah.
Cuts off, I would say its half-life is now gone. Now you taste the alcohol.
Yeah.
How do you extend that life of the flavor?
I'm considering fat washing it in coconut oil.
If you could have a love child with these two, that'd be great.
I also thought that as well, to combine the 2 ideas together.
And
then
because after you take a taste of this, right about now, it is so coconut.
Yeah, well,
it is so
But that's the coconut
rich.
sugar, though, and that's where that richness comes into play. Because the only difference from what you just had in the one before is my adjustment of cane to coconut sugar.
It has a fabulous coconut nose.
Yeah, it's astringent on the palate.
Very, very astringent.
But that's the thing, is that like it even finishes. You know what kind of finishes like? It reminds me of chlorine from a pool. I get this like. It almost on the nose a little bit. If you go to a hotel pool, like that
I was just in last night.
Atmospheric,
yes.
Like
an indoor.
when you walk into an indoor pool at a hotel, that's what that smells like.
Sterilized smell.
Yeah, it's like it's clean, but you definitely don't want to drink that water. Yeah,
don't have anywhere to go.
That's what that reminds me of. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was so much fun to be honest. Like even when things don't pan out, like when things like that end up smelling the way they do. It's this really fun moment we all have. We just start laughing. Like, I can't believe we were able to create that smell. Like, I didn't think you could do that besides adding, like, diatomaceous earth and chlorine to a pool. I did a similar thing with our vodka where I distilled the skins in one setting and then I macerated the meat in another grain bag and then just pulled that out and married them, and I put it in a barrel in my little rick house. And it's been sitting there for, I think, 2 months at this point. Sitting there. If you guys want to try it, we can.
Let's go.
I have no idea what it tastes like.
We don't care.
I was gonna let it sit there and just forget about it until I was like, oh, it's been like 4 years. Holy shit! Like, I should go try it. Let's
go try it.
No, it's still there.
I can definitely just by weight alone, I can tell that it has lost a decent amount of angel share. If y'all want to pass that around, see what it tastes like.
Am I going first?
You go first.
I've been trying my best to spend as much time with you guys, but my boss wanted me at 4 o'clock to go run the forklift and start making basically more space in our parking garage, which is our old warehouse. So I gotta go help her because I've watched her walk by me. Like that was the young lady that walked by a minute ago who just kind of eyeballing me as she walked by. So I was like,
Oh, Jason, we really appreciate it.
Hey,
Thank you so much.
I'm a sucker for good conversation, and
Oh my
you guys
God.
are just the cat's pajamas.
I like that.
Wait, stop. Anyway, if you like what I'm doing, subscribe to my Facebook, follow me on Instagram, throw me a pin on Pinterest if you can, and follow me.